This is your weekly rundown of episode Heresy, week 16, starting on May 20th. This week sees another dungeon enter the rotation for the new limited time event, Rite of the Nine, which is free to all players with no dungeon keys required. Found in the Eternity node, each week one dungeon will be the featured dungeon for the week, with the Ghost of the Deep, Prophecy, and Spire of the Watcher. This week's featured dungeon will be the Ghost of the Deep. Rite of the Nine is available in 3 versions. Explorer mode for guardians who are new to dungeons, with tooltips explaining mechanics, no darkness zones, 5-second revive timer, and waypointing. Eternity mode for more experienced guardians, and Ultimatum mode for a tougher challenge, tougher enemies, tougher modifiers, and greater rewards. With a selection of 12 returning dungeon weapons with updated perks, a new 9 theme aesthetic, and even adept weapons for those who take on the hardest challenge. Weapon attuning is also available, similar to how the Brave Arsenal works in Onslaught. Weapons available are the Arc Precision Frame Auto Rifle Prosecutor, the Strand High Impact Frame Pulse Rifle Relentless, the Strand Adaptive Frame Hand Cannon Judgment, the Void Aggressive Frame Shotgun A Sudden Death, the Void Double Frame Grenade Launcher Wilder Flight, the Arc Aggressive Frame Scout Rifle Long Arm, the Stasis Heavy Burst Sidearm Liminal Vigil, the Arc High Impact Frame Machine Gun Terminus Horizon, the Stasis Wave Frame Grenade Launcher New Pacific Epitaph, the Solar Aggressive Frame Submachine Gun No Survivors, the Solar Rapid Fire Glaive Greasy Luck, and the Stasis Aggressive Frame Rocket Launcher Cold Comfort. All of these weapons come with the new origin trait called Gravity Well. When reloading, this weapon automatically gathers nearby ammo, which is exclusive to these weapons. This week also sees the return of Lord Saladin, as he arrives in the tower for the 4th time this episode, bringing with him the Iron Banner. This is a week-long free-to-play Crucible event, which means there will be no Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Power level is disabled, meaning you can go into Iron Banner with whatever weapons and armour you would like. Iron Banner also brings with it challenges and a seal to become an Iron Lord. For episode Heresy, Iron Banner has now been broken up into 2 playlists, with each one replacing an existing node on the Crucible Director. Iron Banner Control will replace the existing Control node, and Iron Banner Quickplay will be the new home for Eruption, Fortress, Tribute, and Rift game modes in the Quickplay playlist. If you need a refresh or just want to know more about the Iron Banner, then check out our most recent guide. This episode's new weapon is the Arc Adaptive Frame Trace Rifle Warlord Spear, and returning weapon is the Stasis Adaptive Burst Sidearm Peace Bomb. Plus, we have a new weapon added to the loot pool for the latter part of this episode, introducing the new Solar Lightweight Frame Scout Rifle Nature Reclaimed, rolling in the 3rd column with Outlaw, Killing Wind, Rapid Hit, Shoot to Loot, Lone Wolf, and Hill Clip. In the 4th column, Desperate Measures, Box Breathing, Explosive Payload, Incandescent, Precision Instrument, and Kill Clip. This episode's emblem is called Saladin's Pride, and shader is called Banner's Bearer. Episode Revenant brought with it the Iron Banner Memento, which you can put into your crafted weapons to gain access to the shader Iron Banner Keepsake, and title of Seaver's Bane. Plus, the Iron Intent armor set from episode Revenant is still earnable. The 5th and final Iron Banner of this episode will begin on June 17th, and conclude at the weekly reset on June 24th. If Iron Banner and dungeons aren't your thing and you finished episode Heresy story, you have some time to catch up before the Edge of Fate begins on July 15th, giving you some time to finish anything from episode Echoes, episode Revenant, as well as Heresy. Or you could complete your Nightfall Conquest seal, play some Gambit, or even go for Ascendant in competitive Crucible. Act 2 of episode Heresy brought with it the new activity, the Court of Blades. Set within the Dreadnought's Hole of Souls area, players are transported to different arenas across the system, from Io to Europa and on board a Hive warship. Court of Blades has 2 difficulty options, Normal and Expert, with adept versions of the Act 2 weapons only dropping in the Expert version. Also, the Grandmaster Nightfall node is available, giving Guardians the opportunity to complete their Conquest seal for this episode. With this node becoming available, this gives Guardians the chance to jump ahead and complete Act 3's Nightfalls. These being the Warden of Nothing, Week 17, May 27th, and the Sun the Cell, Week 18, June 3rd. Or conversely, you'll be able to complete Act 1 and Act 2's Grandmasters, which are now not available. Sark's Battlegrounds Moon, Lake of Shadows on the EDZ, Scarlet Keep on the Moon, Hypernet Current on Europa, Heist Battlegrounds Mars, and the Sark's Battlegrounds Cosmodrome. Act 1 of episode Heresy brought with it the new 3-player activity, the Nether. Set within the Dreadnought Patrol Zones, Guardians fight in random and varied encounters with different events and objectives every time. The Nether has 3 modes: the Nether Exploration for those solo types who want to just explore the Dreadnought, a match-made mode on baseline advanced difficulty, and a selectable non-match-made expert version. From Act 3 of episode Revenant, we have the new exotic mission Kell's Fall, where you can earn the new Void exotic shotgun Slayer's Fang, and new Prison of Elders challenge Kell's Vengeance, which can be found over in the Last City for 2 to 3 players. Act 2 of episode Revenant brought with it the Tomb of Elders, and Contest of Elders over in the Last City, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of Act 2. Also available for a weekly Pinnacle is the Salvation Jade Raid, over in the Pale Heart, and new dungeon Sundered Doctrine, which can be found over on the Throne World, with the exotic linear fusion rifle Finality's Ager up for grabs, and a whole suite of new weapons and armour. Just make sure to visit Encore over in the tower to pick up the quest Drowning Labyrinth to enter. Over in the last city we have Onslaught Salvation, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of the opening act of Revenant. This version of Onslaught brings with it new defences, 3 maps that are not in the Vanguard playlist version, and new enemies to fight. You can select from Widow's Court, Eventide Ruins and Kell's Grave, either normal or expert. Also, the original Onslaught has been updated to include some of the new additions. Located in the Vanguard playlist, the featured Onslaught map this week will be Mothyards, with a Fallen War Priest kicking off the boss rotation. In the last city on the Helm, the exotic mission Encore is still available, with 2 difficulty options, normal and expert. Also, from episode Echoes, we have the 3 new Battleground activities, Delve, Conduit and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach Executable. The expert Battlegrounds will start this week's rotation with Core. The Dreaming City this week is at a medium curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Divilian Mist and has the Oracle Engine mission for the next week. The Blindwell features Hive enemies and the Plague Kragar. The Ascendant challenge will be the Shattered Ruins over in the Spine of Keris. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is a mysterious disturbance. The Trove Guardian is located in the Anchor of Light, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Jax, Claws of Zevra Wrath at the Hellmouth. Nightmare hunts Crota, Despair, Fogoth, Fear, and Ghoul, Rage. The Altars of Sorrow start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Zydron and the Heretic Rocket Launcher. On Europa this week, Phylax the Warrior will be the Empire Hunt, Asterian's Abyss will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Agility. Dares of Eternity expert difficulty rounds are Fallen, Hive, and Zydron. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Wild Hunt armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 1. Arsenic Bite 4B, Blasper 2, Corsair's Wrath, Deafening Whisper, Dire Promise, Enigma's Draw, Escape Velocity, Giant 7 Rifle, Friction Fire, Royal Chase, True Prophecy, and Timeline's Vertex. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Ghost, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Pact. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense, with Void Sniper, Father Sin, and Zurich Scorn Raider as the boss. The Lightfall weekly mission is Downfall, the Partition mission will be Ordnance, and the Vex incursion will be Umshire Park. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The Final Shakes Cooperative Focus campaign mission this week will be Iconoclasm. The 12 Guardian Match-made Excision mission is also available next to the race for a weekly Pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Salvation's Edge raid challenge this week is the 3rd encounter repository called Balanced Diet. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the 1st encounter Cataclysm called Illuminated Torment. The Kingsfall raid challenge this week is the 5th encounter Oryx called Hands Off. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the 2nd encounter The Caretaker called Base Information. The Deepstone Crypt challenge this week is the 3rd encounter Tanix Part 1 called Of All Trades. The Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the 4th encounter Sanctified Mind called 0 to 100. And the last Swiss challenge this week is the 5th encounter Riven called Strength of Memory. Featured Pinnacle Raid 1 will be Crota's End over in the Legends tab. And featured Pinnacle Raid 2 will be the Vault of Glass also in the Legends tab, with all challenges available for all encounters, with the exotic auto rifle Necrochasm being farmable from the final boss in Crota's End, and the exotic fusion rifle Vex Myth class from the final boss in Vault. Featured Pinnacle Dungeon 1 will be the Prophecy over in the Legends tab, and featured Pinnacle Dungeon 2 will be the Ghost of the Deep also in the Legends tab. The exotic mission rotator will be Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic grenade launcher being the main reward, the Season of Risen's weapon set, plus the Tusk Allegiance armor set. The exotic missions The Whisper and Zero Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. This week's challenges are Heresy weapon defeats, Cosmodrome activities, Superpowered Ritual, Potent Projectiles, Stranded, and Bank Kill Repeat. Lost Sectors Tuesday the Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart, Wednesday Bunker E15 on Europa, Thursday Perdition on Europa, Friday Veil's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome, Saturday Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmodrome, Sunday Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City, and Monday Chambers Starlight on the Dreaming City. The Grandmaster Nightfalls continue this week with our 16th featured Nightfall, which should see us face off against Kargan the Technocrat in the Insight Terminus over on Nessus, with the Slated Sword the Slammer as the featured adept weapon. The 6v6 playlist will be Iron Banner Control, the 6v6 Quickplay mode should be Iron Banner Rift, Survival should be in the small team's Quickplay, and Hardware Supremacy will also be available, with no Trials of Osiris at the weekend. This week should also see bonus Gambit Reputation available all week long. And as a reminder, the annual Moments of Triumph continue, with a collection of 33 challenges celebrating everything you've been able to achieve in this past year. If you've been active, you'll likely already have some of these completed, which just gets you closer to the 26 you'll need to earn the 2024 seal and title. Still available is the Destiny 10th Anniversary in-game celebration event, And don't forget to keep an eye on Zer this Friday at Reset to see if he's offering another chance to grab a random rolled exotic class item for 41 strange coins. And that's it for the 16th week of the Final Shape episode Heresy. Thank you for watching. Allons-y.